Welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We're two friends in fibre who knit, craft, crochet, and tuck everything in between. My name is Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
I'm told it's episode 291, and we're going to go with that. Or 292? Nope, 291.
291.
Doing great. Guys, PSA for the week. I have an inner ear infection, so if you notice there's more cuts, it's because we've stopped because my face hurts. My face hurts a lot.
We'll try to be speedy so you can go lie down.
Not talk.
And not talk.
Not talk. So what am I doing? A talking podcast. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That works.
Of course.
Technically, It is November by the time you guys see this, but it doesn't matter because today it is Sunday, October still. So we're wearing Halloween stuff.
Because tomorrow's Halloween.
Because tomorrow is Halloween from our perspective. And why not? Also, this hood is not going to exist on my head for very long. Because I'm going to definitely need to take it off before I melt to death. The fact that I made the hood big enough that it goes over my headphones, I'm still quite impressed with.
That's such a cute hood.
Okay,
I need to make one.
I added extra rows, whatever. We'll talk about it in a bit. My floppy ears. I think I need to tack the ears back. Like, it doesn't suggest it, but I think I need to tack the ears back so they stand upright more.
Potentially, yeah.
All right. Diana, why don't you let everybody know what we're going to cover? And I'm going to take a sip of my drink.
We got What's in Our Cup, Woolly Workings, and Wool Gathering. We're going to be speedy today. So speedy, because we've been so speedy with our, hour of talking to get to this point?
You forgot so little time.
What? Oh, yeah, so little time. I completely forgot that was a segment we had. I was lumping that in with Woolly Workings.
But it's a separate section.
It is a separate section.
How am I supposed to encourage you with the fear of FOMO if I don't start sewing? What stuff I can talk about?
There we go.
The problem is now all I want to do is buy those electronic ears that do the movements.
Oh, those are so cute.
I want those so bad. I'm approximately 8, guys. All right, in my cup, which is not a Halloween cup because my Halloween mug is in the dishwasher being washed. I have my Christmas mug because it's the next biggest mug.
I went with an all-black theme.
That's fair. I'm just drinking some decaf coffee, guys. It's nothing fancy.
I got the lipstick, the nails, the teacup.
It's really warm under this hood.
We went full witchy theme today.
Good, as one should. I could have painted my.
Oh, and I got new tea. I got some apple cinnamon tea.
Ooh, that sounds tasty.
And here's the rest of my Halloween costume.
Actually,
that.
Did your eyeballs not want to stay up?
I haven't taken the time to pin them into my head today because they're a little bit heavy.
Ah, there we go. Look at that. How bundled am I going to be in the winter?
So cozy.
So excited. With my short sleeve shirt on.
I changed out the eyes for these things. So. For my work Halloween party tomorrow, this is the general look. I'm just going to arrange the hair over top of it more.
And pin it in.
This is the look. And in case anybody's listening on audio, I'm holding a little mask with 2 little eyeball screens on it. I have animated eyeballs on my head is what I have. And I'm going to hide it in my hair. So I have a little gremlin in my hair and I'm so excited.
For the audio listeners, I'm literally that crochet cat hood scarf thing that I wanted. Diana purchased it for me and I made it this week. So I'm wearing technically outside winter wear. This is bulky. Weight yard.
There we go.
With cat ears on the top.
Because of course I am.
Because of course I am.
Anyway. And of course my brain came up with a stupid joke. Because I was experimenting with the bun last night.
Yeah.
And so I've got this giant messy bun with some eyeballs looking out and I managed to snap a picture as they're looking down at me and I'm looking up at it. And then my brain went, hair's looking at you, kid.
Oh no. You are turning into your dad so fast. We're becoming your dad so fast.
That's literally, that's worse than my dad. I am worse than my dad.
So long as you own it and you know. If I'd done this all in black, man, it would be so thematic. Black ears.
That's my Halloween costume. Hair's looking at you, kid.
Hair's looking at you, kid.
So I have to do this all up tomorrow for the Halloween costume contest at work.
Yes, you do. That should be an Instagram story. You should put that in Instagram
Oh,
stories.
it will. Absolutely. I'm
That's kinda
getting
cool.
the maximum amount of content out of putting a circuit board with screens on my head.
Good call. Good call. Oh goodness. Well, shall we talk about our woolly working so I can take this thing off my head?
Yes, you go first so you can take the thing off your head.
It's so warm. Ugh, having
Just gotta
hot
arrange my hair
flashes,
so I can see again.
and I'm not even in
Okay.
my 40s. Ugh, yet.
All right. Talk about it. Quick, quick. About
Diana kindly gifted me a crochet pattern because she went, of course, Jocelyn needs a hood scarf crochet thing with cat ears.
well,
Obviously.
obviously.
So, I will, you know what, guys, on the screen below, you will see the actual name of the pattern and who the designer is, because right now I can't remember at all. My face hurts so much. Oh, inner ear infection, 0 out of 10 recommend. So bad. So I wanted to use up scraps, and boy, did this use up scraps. So the original pattern calls for about 400 yards of bulky, which is about 800 yards of worsted held double. And I was holding worsted double. So this is some impeccable that I had literally in a box in claret red and true gray. I had 2 balls of each, which gave me the 800 worsted, 400 bulky that I needed. And I striped it out because I obviously didn't have enough. There's a striped version and a solid version. And of course, it wasn't big enough for me. So, like, I added extra stitches in length, and I added an extra row for depth, and I made the hood a bit deeper because, of course, I did. But I made the ears exactly as recommended.
The ears really make that. Like, it's cute
So
without the
cute.
ears, but the ears just make
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So I'm very excited. However, I'm also equally excited to take this off because I am now wearing bulky weight acrylic on my head, and it's 12 degrees outside, and the windows are open. I am warm. Oh gosh. But it's done. I mean, I added a single row crochet border around because I like finishing off my crochet projects that way. I think it looks better.
Mhm.
It's got a cleaner look to it. So I definitely did some modifications to the pattern, just because I like epically massive deep hoods, and I wanted to use up a ton of my yarn. As I punch my microphone, and boy, did I do a good job of using up my yarn because this is the last of the gray.
That's
Sure.
not much.
There's not much. It was true gray, and this is the last of the red.
Oh, wow. That's really not much.
So we did it. We got rid of 4 balls of yarn out of stash that I wanted to get rid of, and I made this amazingly, hilariously oversized, fun hood scarf thing for winter. Which, yeah, as we've
That's gonna
discussed,
be heckin' cozy at -40.
I don't know why I bother to wear regular stuff. What I love is this oversized, crazy person stuff. Just brings me happiness and joy. I even wove in all my ends. So we are like finished, finished, finished. Like there is nothing left to do on this bad boy but wash it and stick it into the ever growing pile of winter accessories I have. I need a new bin for my winter accessories. That's how many winter accessories I have on the large scale.
That's so squishy. That's gonna be so cozy.
I'm so excited. But this was my first effort for the week. So I did get a thing done that I could talk about. And given how much not talking crafting I've done, it's important to have stuff to talk about on the podcast. Oh, my ear. Do I have to keep going?
Yes, because you have 4 things to my 2.
I always do that, don't I? The other thing I was
Well,
doing
the 2 that I can talk about.
while we were making show notes was finally going, oh my, Halloween is literally tomorrow. Finish your pillow. So I stuffed it. And I made an inappropriate comment about stuffing this. Then I sewed up the one end. So this is the Halloween Fair Isle scarf pattern, which is a free pattern on Ravelry, that I modified into a pillow by just doing chart 1 and chart 2 once, and then shoving a pillow in it and sewing it up. Am I super worried about it being kind of malformed? No, because the pillow will start to do pillowy things as it's used. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it is literally a soft old pillow that I scrunched up and aggressively shoved into the tube that I had made. Again in acrylic so I can wash and dry. and not have to worry about it, which is wonderful. So more impeccable got used. I still really freaking love these charts. They're just so cute.
It's really cute.
And the witch does it for me.
Mm,
The Witch of the
that's
Cauldron.
cute. I love that.
Oh, so good. So good. But it does give me 2 FOs. So that's 2 more things done. And given that pile of whips behind me that I'm madly trying to downsize before we get to December's wrap-up videos, this is a good thing, people.
Yep. Yeah, I should stop casting stuff on.
I should have stopped casting stuff on last year.
This is true. Do we stop casting stuff on?
No.
I feel like, because buying stuff and using stuff are 2 totally different hobbies. Is starting stuff and finishing stuff also 2 different hobbies?
I mean, I know many people who would say yes and many people who would say no.
Because I'm starting to feel like these are different hobbies.
Feels like it, doesn't it? Oh, jeez. Okay. Ow.
All right.
I have 2 things left.
I suppose it's time to talk about a thing.
Which is good. I want a break from talking.
So part of the stuff I did this week was fiddling around with that mask to get the eyes better.
Oh yeah. Well, they were cat eyes before, weren't they?
Yes, they were cat eyes before. And then I at some point managed to bork the entire board, and I had to like reflash the firmware. It was a whole thing.
Well done.
I thought briefly that I had completely broken it, and I was very sad. But no, it's fine.
Sucked so much.
And I gave it Fizzgig eyes, and I'm very happy about it. So that was part of my project this week that was not knitting, that took up knitting time.
It was not knitting.
So here's the still unfinished Clue 1 of the Stephen West MCAL. Clue 4 is out. Like, the MCAL's done by the time this podcast is out, so this is not spoilery anymore. This is repeat 8 of 11 on Clue 1.
Just doing great, guys.
Oh, I'm doing so good. Yeah. So this is still Fireweed Fibre Co. yarn. The lighter color is Forget Me Not on Sparkle Base, and the darker color is, I think, a One of a Kind, also on Sparkle Base. And the third color that will eventually come in at some point is a dark purple, also on a Sparkle Base. So it's sparkly. Oh, there we go. Look at that sparkle. It is loud and sparkly and ostentatious, and a good Stephen West shawl. And yeah, I'll get Clue undone eventually. Me and Clue 1 just... I finally stopped. I finally got it. I got the pattern down, and I finally stopped having to tink back rows to fix mistakes.
You thought you were going to go crazy with all the tinking back you were doing.
God. Like, the first half of the Clue, I swear I unknit nearly as much as I knit. Because it's not even like mistakes that you can fix on the following row. It's not even like I knit when I should have purled and I could fix it on the following row. It's like I literally forgot to cast on or bind off stitches, and you can't fudge that on the following row.
No, not so much. Not so much.
Or like I completely did all the increases and decreases wrong for an entire row. Like the kind of stuff you can't fix on the following row.
You really can't.
Those kinds of mistakes.
You really can't. Oh,
no.
boy.
So,
okay.
Yeah. But I'm in a good rhythm now, and I haven't mucked it up recently in like a couple of repeats. I think we've come to an understanding, me and this shawl, and I hope the rest of it will go much faster because it's bringing me so much joy. It's so sparkly, and I want a ridiculous, childish, sparkly shawl.
I think it's ridiculous.
My inner child demands this.
I think it's great. I literally crocheted myself a cat-eared hood. Like I'm
healing my inner child with a sparkly shawl. No. I'm healing my inner child with a stupid video game that was $2 on Steam that came out circa 2000, and I have fond memories of playing. And I've sunk like 20 hours into it in the past 2 weeks. That's where a lot of my knitting time has gone, is playing video games from my childhood.
So what you're saying
that
is
were $2 on Steam.
Wouldn't feel sorry for you.
No, you really shouldn't.
Okay.
I made that choice.
Okay. I need to break this yarn because I have done the requisite number of alternating rows to adjust to the new ball of yarn. I don't need the old ball of yarn anymore. Well, while we work, while we record, I'm obviously working on something. I was like, I'll talk about that next. I'm not. I'm going to talk about my woes first because there are some woes.
Oh, yes, the woes.
You guys may have noticed that the last of the Halloween Spooky Vibes patterns are out. It is the Spooky Vibes. It's the original. It is how we fell down this rabbit hole in the first place because I wanted a massive double wrap 60 plus inch around in circumference honkin color work Halloween themed cowl. That's where we started. That's what I wanted. That's initially when I went looking for charts. When I assembled everything, that was the thing. The hat, the mittens, the mini cowl, all that just kind of happened afterwards. After the fact, we started with the Halloween Spooky Vibes cowl. So it is out. It is released. My tester got it all finished. It looks great. I asked for permission to use her photos. She said absolutely. She's a photographer. The woman can take good photos.
Oh, yes.
So did that totally. I was like, because I'm not going to get it done. I was like, just wait till you see the podcast, and then you'll know why I'm not going to get it done. Because I am visually impaired. This is my defense. This is going to be my defense to the day I die. This is my molehill. This is where I'm happy. It's where I am camped out. This is the excuse that I am using. And sometimes when you do color work, you'll drop a stitch. And you think to yourself, whatever, no biggie, pick it up. Even color work, a little complicated, but you can ladder that stitch up, right?
Generally.
Yeah. Except superwash and burrito like stick keep falling. And if you don't notice you've dropped a stitch, or you think, oh, I just decreased, like I picked up 2 stitches on the previous row instead of the 1 stitch, which I'd had done before in the darker color. It's happened. I just put a new stitch in, right? Fudge, nobody notices. So I didn't notice till I was about 3 charts up that I had dropped a stitch. 3 charts down, and it had run back down to the striping at the start of the cowl, where all the yarn was joined. Because I was just carrying my yarn up the inside of my cowl and not breaking it. Which you don't have to do. You can break your yarn as you transition through colors, which I'm going to do this time. I'm going to do this time because I had to restart the cowl. So I was not going to have it finished to take my own photos on Friday of my own pattern. Do I know I have enough yarn? Yes, I know there's enough yarn. I know the right yarn because I was literally at the last end of the shawl.
That's so sad.
Many swear words later, I put it down. I thought, well, this is the worst thing that's going to happen to me this week. I woke up the next day with an inner ear infection. It was not the worst thing that happened to me this week. It was, in fact, the least worst thing that happened to me this week because I could just. If you ever have small children in your life and they are screaming in pain, and the doctor goes, oh, it's just an inner ear infection. It's not just an inner ear infection.
No, that's not just anything. No.
It hurts. I am quite grumpy and miserable. And I am so sorry to the people who had to be dealing with me the last few days. Who've not been the best of company. Inner
ear infections suck.
It hurts. Thankfully, I'm on antibiotics, which is good. My ear is warm. I know the antibiotics are working. The swelling is coming down because I don't want to just kill everything, and I can sort of talk. But all of my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful progress, all of my beautiful, beautiful progress is gone. It's gone. It's gone. And what do I have? I have the start of my very first chart after my stripes. That's 50 inches of fingerless knitting in the round, out the window in color work. I worked my butt off this week, and I have nothing to show for it.
Cry. That's cry. That is so sad. I
don't even have time to pick it up and work on it this week and just do another hard week and get it done, right? A little late, but no biggie. Nope. No, I don't. Why? Because I have an MCAL I have to finish. Because it's out to testers, I need to get it done so that it can be released on time for everybody in, the 15th of November when the info sheet goes up.
Okay.
There were many
Well,
swear
you have
words.
fun with that.
There was a ice cream order.
Yeah.
There were tears.
Yeah.
There may have been some ranting at my sibling, who totally
Yeah.
understands. Totally understands.
Yeah.
And then I picked it up this morning, and I'm halfway through my charge on my first try again because reasons. All the balls look like garbage because they were caked. They were down to the edges, like down to the ends, because I was getting close to finishing it. And now they're all hand wound.
Oh no.
I just okay.
That's rough.
Just I still like the color work. I still like the pattern. I obviously released it because I'm like, it's nobody's fault but mine. I am not delaying this because I didn't notice I'd dropped a stitch. And I am absolutely, we're not going to talk about the 4 hours it took to pick up the needle, pick up the stitches. Because fingering weight me, yarn, that's me, yarn, a magnifying glass, lots of patience, and a lot of time.
That's rough.
So my hopes to pick up the Garter Marlar cardigan next week and rip back and pick up the stitches at the cuff because I at the collar because I screwed. No, I was going to do it on my own. Everyone's going to be super proud of me. I'm not. I'm begging for help. I'm begging for help. If I have to bring it to Edmonton so that you do it, I don't care. It will come with me
That's
across 2
fine.
provinces. I am not picking up stitches. I'm not picking up stitches. Not doing.
No, that's enough stitches for this 6-month period. That's enough of that. Somebody else can pick up your stitches.
To revel in my finished objects. I had my
Yeah.
pity party.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's fine. We will move on. It's just it. And if I keep saying it long enough, at some point it will stop causing me to want to use a lot of foul language.
Eventually.
And you thought the words that came out of my mouth while I was stuffing the pillow was weird.
I imagine ripping back that much knitting was considerably fouler.
No one should have to deal with me after I do that. I was in such a grumpy mood. I ate 4 pieces of fudge.
Yeah.
Ice cream, blondies. Yeah. And then I took out some aggression on the pickle jar because I couldn't get it open. Took me 2 days, but I got that pickle jar open. I won that fight. Oh. I have to be careful because I don't want too much pressure on my ear, but I want to be able to hear you in both ears. So that this one headphone's going to keep coming off and going back on. However, the yarn is still beautiful. It is Erin from Fibre Fabrico yarn. It is her lemon lime colorway as my one contrast. My second contrast is the October Sock Club colorway from last year. You can pick whatever Halloweeny orange or red you'd like to use, or pumpkin color. And black emerald is my main color. So it is a 4 skein cowl, and it uses them because it's 9 inches in diameter and it's 60 inches in length, approximately.
That's big. That'll eat your head.
Yeah. You guys can see the pictures. It's available on Ravelry. I'm working on getting them up on the other places. And one of our Patreon members, actually the Google Food Master herself, was like, you should offer it as an ebook. Jeez. Absolute jeez. So I'm trying to plug that work in this week too somehow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Guys, hey, I got an MCAL coming out.
Uh-huh.
I did all the twisting, I did all the swatching, I did all the numbers, I did the math. I'm incapable of copying pattern stitches over correctly, so, thank God for testers and tech editors because I need someone to catch those mistakes.
Well, that is literally what they're for.
That is literally what they're for. Thank God I have 2 wonderful women helping me out with this. But they're ahead of me, unshockingly, because I was working on the no progress cowl. Okay. I'm gonna work on that now. But as I can't show you guys that because it's a mystery.
Uh-huh.
Thank heavens I have projects that are so close to being finished they need to get finished, so I have FOs.
Yay!
I'm not talking about it. I'm not picking it up. I am not touching it till December. Like, I am taking a solid month off. I am so bad at that thing.
Yeah, no, it can go away and think about what it's done.
Did some of the pumpkin charts. We did something. Something. Just no more. No more.
It can go have a nice long time out.
It's
after what it's done.
Oh God. Just should have seen me when I realized I was just so bad. I couldn't even rage at you on Discord. That's how bad I was.
Oh gosh.
I just gave up. I just gave up. I started with the pity party. I just put it down and I crawled into bed and cried. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't. There's no way to fix this. But it's okay. We have finishes. There's a bright side. It's fine. Move on. Talk about your cast on, because I know you cast on a thing. You casted on a thing while we were making show notes, and I was sewing ears onto a hood so I could have an FO.
Yeah. So I needed something that wasn't the same two things for like the last 3 weeks.
And I mean, you're getting ready to travel, so you need a basic travel vanilla project.
Yeah. So I didn't have any vanilla socks on the go, so I do now. I'd wound some yarn for some Mr. Diana socks like 2 months ago, and I just hadn't got around to starting them. So here we go. Here's most of a toe.
Yeah.
These are just going to be plain vanilla socks. This is one of the bird colorways from Fireweed Fiber Co. Red Wing Blackbird.
I think
that's
so.
This one. I think this one's Red Wing Blackbird.
Yeah, because it's black with the pops of red, right?
Yeah.
Oops, punch the microphone.
So I asked Mr. Diana to select his yarn from the pile on the shelf behind me, and
he did.
That's the one he picked. So that's what we're doing.
Good. He needs more socks.
And I have most of a toe.
He needs more socks. His feet are pretty much the same size as yours and my feet. There's not that much difference between us feet-wise.
Not really. There's like a few more stitches and like a little bit more length.
Yeah, I think a few more stitches for both me and Mr. Diana, and I think his foot's a little bit longer than mine.
I think?
Yeah, because if it's just a touch too short for him and a touch too big for you, those become mine.
Yes.
Yeah. So there we go. How we make decisions, people. Oh, I got
make something that doesn't fit you.
Pair of socks from Diana.
Suddenly, it's a present for a friend.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, if I brought the socks you gave me up and a small bit of yarn, because I don't care if it matches color-wise, could you knit a patch over a spot I worn out and tack it down for me?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. Because I keep wanting. I don't want to. I know I have to do it, so I'm not wearing the socks, so I don't make a hole. It's just a worn spot, a worn patch. But I don't want to fiddle with the yarn to do that. Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense. If you bring me some suitable yarn and needles and the socks in question, I can most definitely do that.
We'll talk, because I'm not sure what size of needle you use for sock. 2 1/4? I don't function in numerical sizes. I function in millimeters, which is weird because I do my fabric and yarns, and I do my calculations.
We're Canadian
for patterns and yarns, not metric. I'm making the conversion, and I think because I like gram measurements better. Does that make sense? Like, I know, knowing how many grams approximately is used, it's way more precise. But I don't think I'm going to give up feet and inches as designations of height. Because, like, I can say I'm 178, it's 178 centimeters tall, but, like, I don't. If I say I'm 5'10", nearly 5'11", like, that makes more sense in my head. Oh, the joys of being metric living next to Imperial. We move on.
Yep. As for needle size, I'm currently using 2 1/4 mil.
Okay. So yeah, I'll bring up a spare 2 1/4 mil the socks and some hand wound 20 gram mini, because it just needs to be picked up and patched over and tacked down. So, like, there's nothing to it, but it would give you a thing to work on that isn't stuff you have to lug with you. Because I will be lugging it with me, and then I can have socks to wear again. Yeah, Let's do that.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe I'll bring some drop spinning for the fiber frolic.
That would be me. I was thinking about bringing my medieval drop spindle and doing some spinning.
Because that
Well, let's be honest.
seemed
I was
to draw
thinking
a bit
about
of a crowd last time.
I was thinking about getting my butt in gear and getting the knitting or the project bags for drop spinning done and bringing a project bag for you and for me and for Aaron and for the Google Fu Master. And then accidentally falling down and purchasing some spinning fiber and starting a project while I'm out there. That's my plan.
Completely accidentally, of course.
Air quotes.
Not like we're discussing it like it's a plan right now.
Air quotes. Nothing's going to happen. You guys heard nothing. It's all a surprise. Be shocked. There you go.
I will be so shocked.
Me spending some money on fiber crafting? I know. Throws everyone for a loop. All right. I can't talk anymore about that. Can we talk? How's the sock going? Toes good?
The toe's great. That's all I got to say about a sock. It's a vanilla sock in pretty yarn. It's gonna come with me.
I just turn my head and I catch a glimpse of it. I need to put it in a bag and put it out of sight. I need to put it in a bag. I need to put it out of sight.
I just throw it behind you somewhere.
Depressing.
Throw it away. Not actually away. Don't put it in the garbage, but like out of sight.
Out of sight. It needs to go out of sight, out of mind for a while.
Yeah.
Oh my god, people. Okay, Smokey. The last thing, while we are sitting here working and chatting and podcasting, my brain is frantically going, oh my god. You're on the road in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That almost less than, because if you think, oh my god, is it 2 weeks or it's less than 2 weeks? Today's the 30th. And I'm on the road Thursday the 10th. It's less than 2 weeks. Less than 2
week
weeks.
And a half.
Yep. Okay, cool. I need to
Carry
finish
on.
this sleeve, people. Look at this sleeve from the Wind Woes. I wanted it done for the flippin' Fiber Frolic earlier this year. Not done. I wanted it done for ages before that. Not done. Was this like a podcast anniversary cast on?
I think maybe.
Yes, because we did it based off the anniversary and it was wood. So here we go, working slowly but surely on a sleeve that feels like it's never going to end because I never work on it. And we're almost ready for our first decrease. Progress, slow progress. Now I have to make massively quick progress because I really freaking want to wear this bloody sweater to the Edmonton Fiber Frolic. I really do. Put it on, enjoy it, or even if I don't wear it, at least have it as a full-sized sample. People can put on and touch and feel and see Erin's yarn in a fingering weight sweater because it's gorgeous and it looks so good. And my cat is sleeping on my foot. I just want it done, guys. I want it done. I want it done. So I can move on to something else with my life. And I'm not talking about this in December when we do the whip parade for the end of the year. Right now, my only thought in life is how many whips can I get rid of so that whip parade does not look so sad?
Yeah, mine's
or at the very least is full of new-ish.
Gotten smaller.
New-ish whips. Let me be full of new-ish whips. That'll make me feel better. New-ish whips. I have been ripping things, so like I have let some stuff go. Just lovely. So that's happening. Otherwise, that's it for me for knitting projects because I have secret crafting. I know nobody likes to hear about it, but really, guys, my Advent partner watches this podcast, and I have check-in knitting, and we have craft off knitting. So,
yeah,
hopefully, I'm done a sleeve with the live next week, and I can unstitchy clip it because right now we are stitchy clipped in just the weirdest locations, so that we're not.
Yeah, it looks a bit like a thneed.
It does. It looks so weird, but it's just makes knitting the sleeve so much easier. I know it looks ridiculous, guys. I am aware. So there we go. Roundy. I'm doing it on a pair of 16-inch circulars because I have a pair of 16-inch 4mm circulars for the moment. Stop cleaning my foot. Your tongue is scratchy. No, that doesn't mean switch to the other foot. I bathed this morning, I swear. She's like following my foot under the table.
You need a bath.
I do not need a bath. I've already had a bath. A bath.
Well, you're not
has already
feeling
been
well. You need a
accomplished.
bath.
Oh, the amount of time she spent trying to climb on top of my head the last few days.
Yeah. You need to be cuddled. You're not feeling well.
I do need to be cuddled. I'm not feeling well. I don't need cat. I don't need 20 pounds of cat laying on my head.
No, that's precisely what she needs to lay on your face and purr.
No,
That's
no.
that's the cat thing.
I understand it's the cat thing. It's just not on my head. It's not on my head.
No, definitely on your head. Always got to be on your head.
Guys, I even got my period this week.
Oh, you just got all the fun things. Wow.
It's been kicking me in the teeth all week. I am done.
I feel like
Done.
you've got to have done like all of the bad stuff for the rest of the year now. So like you got to be good for a few months. You just like got it all done.
I don't know
in
what
one
I'm
week.
karmically paying for, but God, I hope I'm done. Just hope I'm done for a while.
You're just getting it out of the way for the rest of the time.
Yeah, that's a thing. Oh well. On the bright side, I did get some sewing done this week, which means we have so little time.
I haven't had that segment in a while.
Well, I haven't really been sewing in a while. Me and the machine have been having a months-long argument. My mom came in, she straightened that bad boy out. She told it whose boss. She found the thing I couldn't see, unshockingly, and helped me fix it. And pointed out where it was, so if I have to get help from somebody who doesn't know sewing machines that well, I know how to direct them to check that space to make sure that we're not having problems. So that was good. And we did some sewing and I started some projects. So I'm going to talk about what I'm doing because am I following a pattern? No. Am I modifying things on the fly? Yes. Is this going to be weird to explain? You betcha.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it.
But
Take
at
a
some
fortifying
point,
sip of tea.
Fortifying sip of tea. But at some point, you will also get to this point in your crafting, in your sewing career. Everybody will get there. It just takes practice, and it all starts with a slightly crooked bag. Everybody starts there, or pillow. We all start with slightly crooked bags or pillows. It's just the rule.
Just like knitting starts, ooh, clatter. Knitting starts with a lopsided square.
My first knitting
Full
project
holes.
was a burlap blanket, ball of yarn, big needles, and I just made a basic stockinette cowl hood thing. And yeah, it's a little wonky. I still wear it because at -40, let me tell you. I put on my rabbit hat, I put on that cowl, and no wind gets through nowhere.
Perfect.
And I am quite warm and quite comfortable to walk. Oh, my ear! I'm such a child. Okay. Sewing. As I now push my very red ear forward. Of course I did. So I need new shirts. I just need new shirts, and I don't want to buy fast fashion anymore. I'm over it. So I took my favorite gray and black shirt. I have two shirts the same style. They're out of stretchy knit fabric, and I literally folded it in half, the shirt, laid it down on this wonderful striped fabric that I'm currently draping on my person, and cut it out. So now, since I punched the microphone,
It looks comfy.
I have the pieces needed due to the restrictions to stripes, deciding we wanted the stripes vertical, not horizontal, and fabric width. I'm now going to have to stitch my center back together so that I have a back panel.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. It's a straight stitch, even on jersey knit. And this is a jersey knit. Like, ooh, look at that stretch.
It looks soft.
It is quite soft. Got some stretch going on. So, more stretch lengthwise than widthwise, which is fine. It is the decision I made. So I need to pin these pieces together. Sew a straight line. This is my front. I decided it was important for me not to have a center front seam, so I made sure that my front went on the fold. What I have left to do, and the part that I've been sort of putting off, is I need to make sleeves. I was hoping to not have to make sleeves, but it'll change the direction of the stripes too much.
Mm.
So I'm going to have to draft a sleeve, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm actually going to wait till I'm done sewing the shoulder seams up. So like sew up the center back, sew up the side seams to the space that I'm going to need for my armhole aperture, which is easy enough. That's just basic math. Like how big of an armhole do I need? My side seam must stop there. So my shoulder seams. Then I can cut out my make a sleeve pattern. It's basic sleeve patterns are basic sleeve patterns, guys. They're not complicated. I can even pilfer a sleeve from somewhere else. It's how easy it's going to be. Cut that out and then use the leftover material to make instead of a neck binding, because you really should have neck band facing for this to stabilize it. I'm going to take the leftover fabric itself and I'm going to basically sew my own sort of bias tape. So I'm going to fold down one edge, encasing a second layer of non-stretchy fabric in there. Sew it, and then I'm going to attach that. So technically the non-stretchy bias tape will be hidden with this matching stripe fabric over top of it, so that I stabilize my edges so that I don't stretch without adding additional bulk.
Okay, I think that made sense to a non-sewing person.
I'm essentially just going to sew over some pre-made bias tape with the leftover of this fabric, so that way you don't see the bias tape.
Okay, I followed that. That's good. Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to bother to do, like, I won't cover the bias tape on the shoulder seams. I will just put a slice of bias tape in, because it's a stabilizing agent. And it's hidden there, so I don't have to. But I'll do the same on my hem and on my cuffs. It'll be the same thing. It'll be either bias taped on the hems or not. I haven't decided if I want to do that, but for sure for my neckline, I have to put that bias tape in to stabilize everything easily. Is that a pattern? No. Is this shirt going to last me forever in a hot minute? No, guys, it's a t-shirt. It's going to last me till I put holes in the jersey knit, and then it won't last anymore. That's how that works. But is it in theory quick and easy? Yes. If I just wanted a tank top, I wouldn't even have to do sleeves. Like, it'd be done even faster. But I'm pretty sure I want this to be a shirt. I'm pretty sure I want some drapey sleeves. I might not even shape them too much. I might just make like a drapey elbow-length sleeve. That'd be nice and fun. And I don't think I have enough fabric to do full-length sleeves. The fabric requirements are tight, guys.
Well, especially you got to line up patterns.
Especially because I'm lining up stripes. If I didn't have to line up stripes, not so bad. But I am definitely lining up stripes. The other thing that I'm doing that requires no pattern, because I'm literally modifying an old piece of clothing, is Diana will recognize this. I pulled it apart to make it smaller, but I can't make it smaller everywhere and smaller in the chest and have it cover the chest, because many inches of difference between chest and ribcage. So I cut off the top of the blue rose dress, which I wore to Diana's wedding, which is why she's like, I'm like, she better remember that I did this. So I wore this to her wedding.
Yes, I do remember that.
And so now I have a very long skirt, because I cut it off at the waistband for the bodice, which, because it was empired right under the chest, right under the girls, so I couldn't modify that part into a waistband. So I went, I'm not messing around with this for very long. I'm going to do what I did once in high school, and it worked great. I wore the skirt for years. And I folded down my fabric, and we sewed it, so I got a clean edge. I'm literally going to fold it down again and shove an elastic in it.
And call it a day.
And put it on, give myself a new hemline to be the right length, and just rehem my skirt. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm calling it a day. And the elastic's going to be fitted So I'm going to make the elastic. It has to be a 2-inch elastic because this is a heavy skirt, right? So I need a full-on 2-inch elastic, and I'm going to have to make sure that when I'm wearing the elastic, it's not like super tight snug, but definitely like you're wearing it. So when the
Yeah.
elastic stretches, I'm not losing my skirt. That would be bad.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
counterproductive.
so step one is to literally fold this over again, and then I've got a clean edge on my inside. Sew it 3/4 of the way around. Well, technically, like leave an 18th. Let's talk about that in terms that make sense. Leave a 2-finger space on one end so that I can shove the elastic in with the standard high-tech technique of a safety pin on one end of the elastic and run it through what I have made, which will be a tube for the elastic to live. Sew the elastic, finish that off, and then I can put it on and pester somebody to help me cut.
Sounds like a plan.
And this will gather up. Won't obviously be this dramatic. I'm just gathering it up into one hand. Then it'll be a gathered drapey knitwear skirt.
I think that works.
I think
Maxi
it'll work
skirt
perfect.
length or more like midi skirts or
No, it's right now it's like awkward mini skirt length. So depending on where it finally sits, I'm gonna have to hem it up. So I think I'm gonna bring it up so that it is below my knees, but not midi length, because that T length is the wrong length to cut me off at. So I need to be knee length, like below the knees or down to my ankles. And we're not long enough to be down to the ankles. So I need to bring it up to my knees. Which is fine. It will reduce some of the waist, like some of the weight in the skirt for me, which will help with the longevity of the skirt. No pockets, because quite frankly, I'm not pulling this apart any farther than it's already been pulled apart. And I didn't want to insert a pocket into jersey knit because the moment you put something into it, you stretch out your
it's
pocket.
not the ideal fabric to be pulling and stretching.
No, it is not. So that's going on. And they're 2 quick little sewing projects. So in theory, I find time to sneak them in. But right now, most of my sewing is strictly figuring out the spinning project bags and getting them made. So that I can bring some and hopefully sell some.
So you've been talking about those for a while, so I'm really excited to see these.
There's like 6 mock-ups to get it to work. Now that I've got it to work, I actually have to make some. And now I have a sewing machine that works, which is great. And if it goes sideways and I run down the list of things I can do and it still doesn't work, I have an additional list of things that I need help with that I can walk someone through to get it to go. Which is good, folks. So there you go. I did a little bit of sewing this week. And I do like mostly pinning. Mom was helping doing stuff when she was here too. So like I did more pinning and cutting. Mom did the sewing part. Because 90% of sewing isn't sewing. It's all the other stuff. The other stuff. The real thing is in a week and a half, can I make spinning project bags and like a new outfit for myself? I can't, but I like to dream and think that I can.
I feel like you've got tons of stuff to do in the next week and a half without adding sewing to that.
So much. I'm still gonna try though. You know me. You know I gotta.
I feel like if you finish the quick little sewing projects in addition to everything else, you'll be doing great.
But I want a pirate shirt and a vest and a walking skirt.
All in good time.
But I want it now. All right. That's it. Literally, that's they're tiny, tiny little things, but they were crafting that I did that I can talk about. Oh, you're up.
Well, it's time for wool gathering.
Oh, good.
Which means I need a word for the unscripted Patreon ad.
Yeah, your word is notebook.
Notebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Notebook. I'm gonna work that one in.
Oh, maybe I can finish that skirt I'm working on. I've been up in weeks. I'm gonna finish that.
All right. Well, if you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/Northern Knits Podcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server where we are active at all hours of the day and the night. enabling each other into starting all of the things, but also cheering appropriately when we do actually, in fact, occasionally finish a thing.
Guys, a lot of
Which you
people
could.
finish stuff. It's just us that doesn't.
Everybody else finishes things just fine. It's just us.
But there was like 18 pairs of socks on there this week, a Halloween costume, sweater.
People are actually productive. Way more productive than us. I don't know what we're doing with this podcast because everybody else produces way more than we do.
It's fine. I vicariously live through their finishes. That's what I do. That's what I do.
Anyway, when you finish a project, you might put it in a project notebook, either physical or digital. That would be cool too. Actually, I'm going to digress for a second, but I found somebody on YouTube, Engineering Knits, and she recently started doing a physical project notebook, and she'll take like Polaroid photos of stuff and like put little bits of yarn in there as like a yarn sample and like the physical medium of it. And it's just like, oh, I kind of wanna. I mean, I know I'd never keep up with it, but I kind of wanna, just because that would be like really nice and physical.
Oh, if I could still work, I would. Well, you saw me. I kept really good notebook notes until I had to give up writing because I can't see it anymore.
I feel like I've been really bad at updating my Ravelry project pages.
I haven't bothered in years.
I don't think you've ever particularly bothered for the entire length of this podcast.
It's never been a strong suit for me. I like the database search function. I am old enough that I could have gone in on AOL and chat rooms and threads and I don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy them, so I don't participate. Like, I'm not into Reddit. Like, I will actively just not follow links if it takes me to Reddit. Just no. Not interested. But give me a good database I can search with pictures. Oh yeah, happy as a clown.
We do love a good database.
Just not into the threads and stuff, which is weird considering how much I chat on Discord. But to me, just Discord's more like a Facebook chat group.
Discord's different.
Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, no, neither one of us are huge thread discussion people. Aren't you drinking caffeine?
No, this is herbal tea.
Herbal tea.
And it got dark since we've been doing this. And my brain's like, it's nap time now.
Your brain is always it's nap time now.
Well, it's like, it's warm and dark, and I'm knitting, and I'm chatting, and I'm drinking tea, and I'm just like, relax. Like, I'm not actually tired. Just like all of the signals are there to make my brain think it's nap time. I'm like, I'm not tired.
You are delightful.
I'm not tired. Just, I don't know.
It's a thing.
I'm very easily programmed.
True. As always, we super understand that budgets are a real life thing. If you can't afford to financially support us, don't worry about it. Liking, commenting, subscribing, and interacting with us on social media is a great way to show support. Show us what you're doing and let us get to know you better, which is always fun and enjoyable. Because boy, do we like making new friends.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of
and adding to our favorites bundles.
Oh, I love adding to my favorites bundle so much. It's crazy.
The number of things that I have cast on because somebody else was knitting it and I went, ooh, I want that too.
It's high. The number is high.
The number is very high.
Oh boy. All right. That's a thing. We've got some lives coming up because, oh my god, it's the end of the month already. Don't know how that happened, but
yeah, I guess I gotta actually like schedule that one so people know what time it is, because that's our time change day. And I know some people have already changed. I think some other people don't change until after.
Yeah.
So beware of time for next Sunday. It's a live episode.
Time is warbly for us anyway. We record on Sunday, we post on Wednesday. I have a live on Thursday at 6:30 Manitoba time, which is 7:30 your time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Craft Off Live monthly episode at noon on Sunday, which is for us the day when daylight savings time is no longer in effect and it's fall, so we fall backwards an hour. Poor Diana's gonna have to be ready an hour earlier. Jocelyn's not gonna care.
I think I can manage.
So
It's not that
goes
big
on.
a deal. It's just mildly annoying.
It is. The week after's podcast is also going to be live. That is just due to the nature that we're both in the same place for the Edmonton Fibre Frolic, and the following week I won't be home to edit. I will be at my parents' house, traveling and visiting on the way home. So we're just doing 2 lives back to back, just to make our lives easier. It was that
Yep.
or skip, and we hate skipping. We hate.
No, we can't skip on the weekend when we bought a bunch of stuff and seen
No,
a bunch of people. No,
No, we have to do it.
can't skip
So,
that.
might be a little tired, might be a little frog voicey, but you're getting 2 back-to-back live
We'll be
episodes.
live on
this month.
location. Oh my god.
We
We
will
haven't
be
done
live
an
on location.
since we went to Knit City in 2018.
I know.
4 years.
4 years. Isn't that crazy how time does that?
What is time?
What is time? Do we have any other huge lives going on? Like, I know right now we've got the fall equinox cal running, and it's going to run till the winter solstice. I know we've decided to take a break between winter solstice and the spring equinox because end of year is usually everyone's busiest time of year. So,
And then we've got the podcast anniversary starting in
January.
January. The other J month.
The other J month?
Yeah, the other one.
July? There's 3.
The other one, yeah.
So we got
January.
Stuff.
That's what I meant.
We got stuff coming up. I know that leaves us not a lot of time to get our stuff done. So I gotta start hauling butt because I really freaking want that cardigan finished. So
I know, right?
That's going on. We'll have the last quarter movie month is coming up this month, so Patreon members will get to join us for the last movie of the year. I don't know who the winner is. I haven't gone to look at the voting polls, though. If you are a Patreon member and you have not voted yet for which movie you'd like to see, this would be the week to do it because I will take a look next week to figure out what movie won.
Because I know what the options were.
Star Wars Episode 1. There were 2 others. I don't remember what they were.
I don't remember. It was a while ago we made that list.
It really was. I do enjoy the quarterly movies, so I'm happy to keep going with those because they've so far proved delightfully useless and wonderful nostalgia trips.
Well, they're all so far. I don't know. Most of them have been ones that I haven't ever seen, so they're the pop culture nostalgia movies that I've never seen somehow.
We're giving you the thing. Did you see the? It was called. Did you ever see the movie where Matthew McConaughey is a treasure hunter?
That does not sound familiar.
Sahara. I will go find the title because if you have it, it's very Indiana Jones-esque. Might enjoy it.
Okay.
So I might have to put it on the list. Okay. That's it. I got distracted. What else do we got going on? I know we're going to be, from your guys' time perspective, tomorrow is the live check-in monthly with Louise. So we'll see how well I did on my cardigan, bulky weight cardigan, and Osa's cowl, which were the 2 things I picked this month. Then the Sunday is going to be the check-in, which will be how well did I do on my sister's blanket for the month. Because I'm crocheting her a couch throw. That Sunday podcast is not going to be at noon Manitoba time. It will be earlier. Because I have to run out the door.
Okay.
At 1:00 my time.
Right.
Because this is what happened.
That's next week's live, right?
Next week's live.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we usually start at noon my time, and then we're done at like 1:30. So if we start at 11 my time, then we're done at like 12:30, 1:45, and I can run out the door. So
all right. So in addition to the time change, we're changing the time. Okay.
Just to mess with everybody, just a little bit more, guys. I'm sorry.
I will right now as soon as we're done this, so that it's already up when this goes up. I will put up the reminder for next week's episode at the appropriate time, so you can hit the little dingy bell and not miss it.
Good call.
Because we're completely messing with the time.
It's the only time this month the Warhammer has to get together, because I'm literally traveling the next week. I'm gone. And
Yeah,
then
no,
we're into
that's
Christmas rush, and one of our groups gone back to university. One of our group works in retail. I'm out of town. The other one works for the government, and one works for like an insurance claim. So like we're all hitting stupid busy for the month of November. So it's like
yeah,
the only Sunday that worked was the live Sunday. I was like, yeah, no, I'll make it work. We have to
yeah,
start it.
that's fine. We
I
can do
can't
that.
leave my
We can
apartment until
handle
1 p.m.
this.
But I can walk out the door at 1. I can do you. And just to save time, because we can't game at our usual gaming place, we're gaming at Games Workshop. One of the boys is literally picking me up because even from this location, it will take too long for me to walk on the door and catch a bus to get to GW.
Yeah.
And then have time to have a game, like have a proper setup, sit down, chat, like a proper game or two. So they're just picking me up on the way by. So I'm to be packed and ready. So I will be eating lunch.
Perfect. As per usual. At least one of us needs to be eating.
And then I will be running out the door right afterwards.
Perfect.
Cool beans. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't even remember when the second Saturday of November is, but that's when the Patreon e-knitting's happening. So that's another thing that's going on this month. My God, November's busy.
So that'll be the 19th. Yeah. So we're in Edmonton on the 12th, and then the Patreon hangouts on the 19th. And then the movie day for everybody is on the 26th.
Wow. It's like almost every Saturday this month, you and I are together.
Uh-huh.
Woohoo! But I think that's it. Yeah, because we've got the fall cow going on. That wraps up in December, which really is not going to take that long to get here. So get your fall things done, because we all know we're running against deadlines for things. And I'm just telling you all right now, I know you don't have time in December. You do not have time in December. You got to get it done next month.
Oh, I know, especially because I'm hosting family Christmas early in December this year.
You never have time in December, period. So, like, I seriously know you don't. But I also know our watchers and listeners do not have time in December. You don't have time in December.
Nobody's got
don't
time
kid
in
yourself.
December. There's not enough time in the world.
I have time in December. Y'all don't have time in December. Work on your projects. Watch a Hallmark Christmas movie if you gotta. I
don't know if I've ever watched a Hallmark Christmas movie.
I do not enjoy Hallmark Christmas movies, so I do not watch them. It just occurred to me, I have been saying this whole podcast that I want to lower my whips, and I'm literally casting out a pair of socks to take on the road next week. Okay, cool.
Do you not have any stockinette in your bin?
Nope. No, I don't. No, I don't. Not that's good car travel, because like the garter marler's got to be ripped so that I'll mid-shoulder increases. So that's not good car knitting, because you got to pay attention to what you're doing and do your increases. So you got to look down, and I get car sick, like I get motion sickness, so I cannot look down. I literally have to be able to work on it in the round. And other than that, I've got color work, brioche, which I also have to look at every once in a while. So the marler, brioche hug, the flat white sweater, which has got the color work snowflake that I wanna, and it's steaking, right? So like those are the 3 sweaters. I've got crocheted blankets and stuff, which are not travel projects. They're not travel projects. Travel projects. So they gotta stay home. And then I've got shawl designs, sweater designs. I've got the self-striping socks, like my own stripy socks, which again won't make good because I have to look down constantly to switch colors. So that won't work. See where I'm going with this?
Okay. Well, enjoy your socks.
I gotta cast on vanilla socks, which is fine. I want a pair of Christmas socks anyway, so I'll use this Christmas skating yarn. I'll use some Christmas yarn and knit on Christmas in November. So many things to plan, so many things to do. Okay, we need to go. I need to stop talking. So I'm going to say until next week. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.